everybody, happy Wednesday. It's your favorite Wicked Wild Child, Tiffani Beth, and you're listening to The Wicked Edge. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. We have a really awesome show for you. As a matter of fact, we always bring you an awesome show. At least I think so. And for all of you out there who listens every week, I'm glad you think so too. Because without you, we wouldn't have a show, and I'm glad you're part of our little family and our little world, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And so tonight, this awesome show for you, we're going to have Mr. Alex Cord. He is an actor, he's a director, he's an author. For all of you who are my age and up, you might have watched a little show called Airwolf from 1984 to 1987, and remember a character named Archangel. Alex Cord played Archangel. He was also in a plethora of other movies and TV shows and dramas such as Texas Ranger with Chuck Norris. And so we're going to be talking to him a little bit about his past endeavors with his acting and what he's up to now. Before we do that, just a couple of announcements. First, I want to thank the Caring Coaching Center for sponsoring DTM Wicked Radio and The Wicked Edge. I want to say thank you so much. If you're looking to get healthy, if you're looking to just kind of be a better you, which we all are, go to www.thecaringcoachingcenter.com. I want you to look over the website, and I want you to see what the Caring Coach Karen has for you. She has set up an amazing website to show you the program she offers. If you're looking to if you're looking to lose weight, she can help you lose weight. If you're looking just to eat better and maybe find a different, diet for you, meaning vegan or something like that, she can help you with that. It's absolutely not a problem. Also, and she can help you from the mind, the body, and the spirit. She's amazing. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to www.thecaringcoachingcenter.com. I want you to email Karen, because when you email Karen, you get a free 50-minute health history consultation. Everything is completely confidential, just between you and her. And if you decide to design a program with her, the free 50-minute health history consultation will help her design the program to meet your specific target needs. Like I said before, you want to lose weight, she'll help you lose weight. You want to just eat a little healthier and, think a little healthier, she'll help you do that. I know it sounds simple, but what she does is a lot of work for you. So, and she's your biggest fan, and she'll coach you through it, and she'll cheer you through it. So again, go to www.thecaringcoachingcenter.com. Look over the website, look over what Karen offers, and email her for your free 50-minute health history consultation today. Also, www.rollinghillsasylum.com. If you are in upstate New York, or heck, if you're in California, I don't care, look up the website because it is amazing. If you love history, you're going to love the Rolling Hills Asylum. If you're into the paranormal, you're going to love it too. Sharon, who is the proprietress of Rolling Hills Asylum, is really amazing. She takes great care of the place. It's so historical and it's so full of amazing energy. I love history, and I love hearing about the patients there. It's sad, it's true. Some of it is, but some of it's really nice and some of it's really cool. And it's just cool to be around that kind of intense, long history. Go to www.rollinghillsasylum.com. Rolling Hills Asylum is in East Bethany, New York. 15 minutes from Batavia, New York, and 15 minutes from 2 major airports. And the funny thing about Rolling Hills, it's in the middle of nowhere, you get close to everything. It's kind of weird, but you have to find out for yourself. You have to go out there. And so the cool thing is there's going to be lots of events during the summer at Rolling Hills Asylum. There's also going to be horror movie nights. So if you're a horror movie buff like me, you're going to love to watch a horror movie in a haunted location full of history. How is that not an epic evening? I think it's a great first date, because just think of it, gentlemen, you got your date, they might get a little scared. They're going to have to come to you for comfort. Yeah, it's a good segue into some makeout. I think it is. So go to www.rollinghillsasylum.com. They also do hunts, quarantine, and captive. So yeah, email Sharon today. That's www.rollinghillsasylum.com. Do not forget to email her, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's going to be amazing. Also, myself, Tiffani Beth, and The Wicked Edge are going to be doing a lot of things this summer. We have a lot of things going on in motion. So I just want you guys to keep tabs on what's going on. If you go to the Facebook page, DTM Wicked Radio, and go like our page, we would love to have you and say hi. Come say hi to us and the rest of the hosts. and get updates on the Wicked Edge and everything we're doing, and myself. And be part of the family. We would love to have you. On a personal note, it is getting hot in New York for once. I know I'm no longer afraid to leave my house because it's warm. I no longer feel like I have to dress like an Eskimo. And even then, I wouldn't get warm over the winter. But it's finally getting warm. And with warm weather comes dangerous temperatures. Especially if you're upstate New York, it gets hot, it gets humid, and it gets dangerous. So if you have pets, I'm a pet owner and I'm a pet lover. I'm an animal lover. No, I am not a vegetarian. I eat meat. But I do love my fur babies. Send me hate mail if you want. I don't care. I love my fur babies. So if you're going somewhere and you have to take your pet for whatever reason, do not leave them in the hot car. Either take them in the store with you or somehow find a way to leave your air conditioning on. Because I'm going to tell you right now, and I don't care if I get arrested, and I know a lot of other people are with me, if I see an animal, dog, cat, ferret, whatever, in the back of a hot car, I will break your window. And then I might hit you in the face with a shovel. I'm just letting you know. So that's how we do things. Oh, and if you're an animal abuser, and I found out you're an animal abuser, I'm going to find you, and I'm going to hang you and gut you from a tree. Or I just might do to you what you do to animals. Like those crush videos are disgusting, and I wish YouTube would take them down. They're gross. And for people out there, if you do that, you're disgusting. And I hope you get the same treatment. I hope somebody steps on your head. So that's all I want to say. Animal abusers should get exactly what they deserve. And people who leave their animals in a car on a hot day with no air, you deserve not to have any animals anymore, and you deserve to be hit in the face with a shovel. I'm just saying. And I will break your window. I'll break your window. So that's just me. Also on another note, there has been a lot of violence against humanity and each other. A state trooper was just killed here in upstate New York. Trooper Skinner. I want to give a heartfelt prayer to his family and lots of love. I am against animal abuse. And yeah, it makes me violent, but you know what? We need to love each other. We need to take care of each other. We need to stop being violent against each other, because in the end, each other is all we have. And remember, when you hurt somebody, you're not hurting just them. You're hurting their families. You're hurting their children. And, you know, it's just too much. I don't feel taking away guns is the answer. I'm sorry, I don't. But I do feel that the answer is more control over ourselves. And instead of spreading hate, spread love. Spread love all the time. And give encouraging words to people. Smile at people when you think that they're down, because that'll make them feel better. Even just a compliment of, I really like your blouse. Or, you know, you've got a pretty smile. Or, you know, nice car. Anything like that can make somebody's day, especially if they're having a bad day. And we have no idea what people go through on a daily basis. We don't know what they wake up to. We don't know what they go to bed to. You know, and sometimes people treat us like shit, but sometimes there's something behind that. So I'm not saying take crap from people, but I am saying be kind. Smile. Pass your smile around. Say a pleasant word. Let's stop spreading hate, because there's nothing useful about that. And that's all I'm going to say. So we're going to take a quick commercial here, and we're going to bring in our guest, Mr. Cord, and we'll be right back. Hang tight, y'all. everybody, it's Tiffany Beth, and we are back. I hope you enjoyed our commercial of music that was done by, oh my gosh, I just drew a blank, and he's a friend, but I'll post it later, but you should definitely go out and buy that CD. We'll post a link for you to buy it. Oh my gosh, Richard. His name is Richard, and he's a friend of ours, and I can't remember. I'm totally blowing this. But anyway, go buy that album. It's fantastic. Also, go buy Acidic's album, Copperman. That is out, and buy your tickets for the Van Warp Tour. You're not going to want to miss Acidic. They're going to be headlining the Vans Warp Tour for 2014. Do not miss out. Also, if you're a country music lover, please go buy Amy Rose, Jiggly Jones, Josie Milner. Go buy their albums. Doug Briney, Norman. Go get their albums. They're amazing. You won't be sorry. But without further ado, I have to tell you, I am a child of the 80s. I watched Airwolf, and we have an amazing, legendary actor who has done cinema, who's done television, who's written books, who's directed, and he is multi-talented, multi-skilled, and he's here with us, and his name is Mr. Alex Cord. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Cord.
Well, you're welcome. I'm very happy to be here.
We are so happy to have you. How are things out your way?
Well, it's a beautiful day here in Texas.
Nice.
The sun is shining, the sky is blue, there are some lovely fluffy clouds, and I'm looking out at a pasture with about 4 or 5 horses roaming around enjoying the green grass right now. We had a little bit of rain, so the grass has gone green and our horses are happy.
Aw, that sounds like perfect. It sounds like heaven.
It is. You know, I'm so fortunate every once in a while I just have to pinch myself to realize the reality that I'm living.
Aw, that's so great. It sounds amazing. But you've lived a life that would afford you such blessings. And I think it's great. And I love the fact that you're on a ranch in Texas. It sounds like perfect heaven. I'm in upstate New York, and our grass is green here too, but we've had like rain almost every single day.
Where are you?
We're in upstate New York. Yeah, we're about 2.5 hours west of Albany.
Oh, well, west of Albany. Okay. Now, there's a place up there called Waverly. Are you familiar? You know that at all?
That's Waverly, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm.
No, there's Waverly, New York.
Waverly, New York. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I am very familiar with that. Okay, I'm sorry. I get the two confused sometimes.
Yeah, that's all right. No, I just am aware of that. A friend of mine had a ranch up there many years ago, and he raised a lot of rodeo horses, and right there in Waverly. He had one in Oklahoma and one in upstate New York at Waverly.
Well, where we live, there are a lot of ranches. There's a lot of farms. Because where we live, we live in Norwich, where if you go too far and you've reached civilization, you've gone far too far. You have to come back to where the farms are and the pastures. So I always laugh about that because everybody's like, "Where's your station out of?" I'm like, "Norwich, New York." They're like, "Where's that?" I'm like, "In a little middle of a lot of farms and grass and knolls." And they're like, "Oh," because when I say New York, people think New York City. And no, we're upstate. So I find that funny. So you have had an extraordinary career. You have been in movies, you've been in television, you have written books, you have directed, you have even, I believe, written screenplays.
I just finished a screenplay on one of my books, because there's a producer in Hollywood who wants to make a movie of it, and they paid me to write the screenplay, so I've done that, and God knows I've had a lot of experience with screenplays, and they're just thrilled with the screenplay that I came up with. So hopefully we'll be able to buy a ticket to go see the movie.
Oh gosh, I hope so. And you know what? When it comes out, we would love to have you back on to help promote it.
All right.
We'll even, if we get permission from your people, we'll even put up a link for people to go and preview the trailer when everything is all said and done.
The book is available on Amazon right now. The book from which the screenplay is written is called A Feather in the Rain, and it's a prize-winning novel. It won the Glyph Award for Best Popular Fiction. Oh. So I'm very happy about that. Nice. I've got two books available right now on Amazon. A Feather in the Rain and a brand new one, which is called The Man Who Would Be God.
Oh, yeah. Can you tell? I want to go back and I want to talk about your movies and your television, and of course your experience on Airwolf. But can you tell us about The Man Who Would Be God? Like, where did you get the idea for it? What's it a little bit about? You know.
Yeah, I can do that. The thing that's interesting about how your subconscious mind works creatively is that I got the idea for this book 15 years ago, and I thought it was such a unique idea. I'd never read anything about it. And so anyway, I tried to put it together to tell the story, and I was unable to do that. No matter how I tried, I could not make this idea work. And yet I knew it was a very unique idea. So I put it away, and then every once in a while it would gnaw away at me a little bit, and I'd drag out my notes, and still I couldn't make it work for 15 years. Finally, I put it away, and I kind of forgot about it. And then about almost 2 years ago, I was ready to write another book, and I didn't know. I dragged out those notes. And I started to read them, and within 1 hour, I had the whole story in my head. In 1 hour. But it took 15 years for that 1 hour to occur. And I think it's because my subconscious was working on it all that time. And once I started to write it, I never stopped until I finished it. And it is now published. And it's about a man who is so discontent with what is going on in the world today, but he wants to acquire the power to change the way the entire world thinks. And he's frustrated because he can't do that. Well, he eventually accomplishes it and becomes the most powerful man in the world.
Wow.
That's what it's about. The man who would be God. And he changes the way the entire world thinks.
Wow.
I won't tell you how he does it, because that's in the book.
You gotta read the book.
You got to read the book, The Man Who Would Be God, available on Amazon. All you have to do is go to Amazon and type in Alex Cord, and it'll come right up.
Well, if you like, we on our website we have an author's corner, and we would love to feature you on our author's corner. And what we would do is put up your picture and then put up and connect it to the links of where people can find your websites and your books where they can purchase them. And if that's something you're interested in, we'd love to do that for you.
Well, super. That would be great. Yeah, you're in contact with
your publicist.
Yeah, Nick Whale.
Yes.
And he can help you with all of that. Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll get in touch with him and we'll get that a rolling.
No, that would be just super. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's exciting. I love the fact that you're very versatile in your art, and I think that's phenomenal. I think that's always a wonderful trait to have. Because sometimes you get people that can only do one thing. And now, granted, they're very good at that one thing. It's nice to see somebody with versatility because it's very inspirational to the people who follow you.
I think what it is I'm very modest about it, and yet I'm realistic. I know that I have God-given gifts.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't take any credit for it. I just am grateful that I was blessed with these gifts because I have led the most extraordinary life. I never could have planned or dreamed the life that I have led. It just occurred. I'm grateful for it. In fact, people have been after me to write an autobiography for years, and I never thought, I never felt like doing it. And then about, I don't know, it's about 5 weeks ago, I came to the realization of the truth of the saying that life is like a roll of toilet paper, that the closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. So I'm realizing that I'm getting up there, and I better do it now if I'm going to do it at all. And as you called me a few minutes ago, I was right in the middle of working on that memoir, and I now have 88 pages.
That's a lot of
That'll
pages.
be the next thing that comes out, is the story of my life.
That's a lot of pages.
Yeah, well, I'm into it if I've got 88 pages. Yeah, that's like probably a third of the book right there.
Oh, 100%, 100%. So, in between your writing, you did a lot of acting. Now, I do want to, I kind of ask this question to everybody, and I always try to ask questions that maybe you haven't been asked before, but it's kind of hard. I do want to start with this one question. What inspired you to take up such an art as acting and writing?
Well, acting just came. I mean, it started with, first of all, I've always been interested in, I studied English literature in college. And I've always been fascinated by the written word and the power of the written word. So I think that was my school, was reading the best writers in the world. I never read any junk. I've always read classics. I've read John Steinbeck, one of his books in particular, called To a God Unknown. I have read that book 4 times in the last 25 years. That's how great a book it is. So that's how I get educated, with the writing part of it. It's just in me to be able and to want to create emotions and the look of something by the way I put the words together. I can spend an awful lot of time on one paragraph sometimes, just trying to get it perfect. So that's, the writing is just a gift. I sit down and it comes, and sometimes I'll read something that I've written and I find it hard to believe that I wrote that. I look at it and I go, well, where did that come from? But there it is. And the acting, I got into that because in college I was studying English literature, and all the pretty girls were in the dramatic arts department. So I didn't need a building to fall on me to start taking some of the dramatic arts classes.
So the girls went and you followed.
Yeah, and then, so that's how I started, was in college. And I've been very fortunate right from the start, but I took it very, very seriously. I mean, once I got into a couple of plays off Broadway in New York, then I got into the American Shakespeare Festival at Stratford, Connecticut. And so I studied with some of the best people in the world. And plus the God-given gift.
Mm-hmm.
So it's given me a very good life and a good career.
Was there ever a point in your life you thought, well, maybe acting isn't for me?
Say that again?
Was there ever a point in your life that you thought, well, maybe acting isn't for me?
No, I never felt that. No.
That's awesome.
No, I managed to make a living as an actor all my life. Yeah. Yeah, I was just very fortunate.
That's so awesome. Now, you've done many, many parts. You've played so many, many parts. And what was your favorite role to play, and what was your most compelling role?
Oh, gosh, there really isn't a one.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of... I worked in the theater for 10 years before I ever did anything in front of a camera. I did 4 plays in London, England. I did several off-Broadway in New York. And there were so many wonderful experiences that I can't point to just one. There were so many great ones. I've had the privilege of being on stage in London, England, with a famous Irish actress, and I was nominated for the Best Actor Award by the London critics, and the nominees were Christopher Plummer in Beckett, and Albert Finney in Luther, and me, and one other guy. That's how lucky I've been. And the reviews were incredible, and that was in the theater. So that was certainly one of the best roles I've ever had, and one of the most challenging was that. But then I've worked with so many great people. Mm-hmm. I did a TV show with George C. Scott, and that was one of my most favorite experiences. He was a lovely human being and a great actor. So, to get to work with him and Kirk Douglas, I played Kirk's brother in a movie called The Brotherhood, which was about the mafia. Yeah. And Kirk and I became lifelong friends and are to this day. And I've had that with Ernie Borgnine, talking about Airwolf. I've done 3 movies with Ernie Borgnine, plus the series Airwolf. And Ernie was like a big brother to me. Aww. So, and as I say, I've worked with all these great people, and they've all remained lifelong friends. I mean, how lucky can you get? That's amazing. You really have. But, at the same token, they've worked with you, and you are a fantastic actor and person as well. And it's just, for some of your other roles, I was not born yet, I'll be honest. But, thank God there are outlets to be able to look them up and watch your previous works, previous to the 1980s. And, fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Have you ever found a role or a character that you kind of... what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of made you uncomfortable, because I know sometimes actors, as much as they want the role, getting involved, because you get very involved in a character. Did you ever find one that kind of you felt a little uncomfortable because of the way the character was, the person that character was? I never have experienced that, because I'm really a character actor. Mm-hmm. And I love the whole fun of being an actor is to be able to completely submerge yourself in another human being, become someone totally different. So while you're in that process, if you are being successful, you are no longer yourself. So I don't make any judgment. If I decide that this is a part I want to play, then I become that human being, and I don't make any judgments about it. That's a very good way to look at something. I've read where some actors have, when they do,
embark on a role like a child molester or a murderer or something. They struggle with that as much as, it's an important character to play, or person, rather. Sometimes they struggle with that. So I was just wondering if maybe you've ever had the same thing.
Yeah, no, I can see how that could happen, but I have not had that experience, and I have played a lot of bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
I've played some really horrible villains, but I always found them a lot of fun to do. And the great thing about playing a maniacal killer, as I did in one movie, is to try to find something good about him, even if it's a little thing like stopping to pet a dog.
Made them a little more relatable.
That's the fun part of playing a character like that, is finding something that adds another human dimension to him for just a second. You're not going to make the audience love you if you're a child molester, but you might find something that shows him to have another color, another side.
Right. No, I completely understand. I like the way you look at a controversial role. I think that's a very healthy way to look at something. Absolutely. Especially with such meat on it. Now, Airwolf was a very big show. I grew up watching it, as did my husband. How did you come across Airwolf and the role of Archangel?
It was so simple. The network had a list of about 3 people that they would accept from the studio for that role. And so the producer, Don Belisario, a wonderfully talented man, he created the whole show. He called my agent and said, would I come in and meet with him? So I did. I went in and met with him for about, I don't know, I guess 45 minutes or so. And that was it. At the end of that meeting, he thanked me. I left, and within a half hour, I got a call from my agent, and the agent said, you got that part if you want it. He wants you to play Archangel. And that's how it came about. It was that simple.
Awesome. That's so awesome. What was it like to tape Airwolf? Like, what were some of the challenging things? What was the cast like?
Oh, well, yeah. It doesn't get any better than Ernie Borgnine. I mean, he, as I said, he and I we've done 4 movies together, plus Airwolf. So, and I had already done one of the movies with him before Airwolf, so I knew Ernie. And so that was a joy. And Jan Michael Vincent, there was a great show way before your time called Police Story. It's an anthology series, and there were no regular stars on it. It was guest stars every week. And so the parts were super, and I had a major part in a police story as a sniper, a police sniper, and a SWAT team. And I was playing the senior guy, and Jan Michael Vincent had a part of the new guy who was sort of under my wing. So that was the first time I met and worked with Jan Michael Vincent, and he and I got along just great. So when I got Airwolf, there again, it was like, coming to work with your pals. So it couldn't have been nicer. And the girl, Jeannie Bruce Scott, she was a pure joy, just a delight. So, and then the rest of it was all beautiful women Good God, the Archangel had a hell of a lot better life than I did. I mean, I was being chauffeured, driven by the most gorgeous women around. I was playing polo. I was a serious polo player for 20 years. And so I had some of my horses in the credits in the show.
Oh my goodness. It looked like you guys had a lot of fun. Now, it also looked like it was very physically challenging. Was it physically challenging for you?
Well, the most challenging thing was wearing the damn eye patch and having to go around limping all the time. I tell you, the real challenge, though, was I had very difficult dialogue to memorize because it was all highly technical stuff, you know. So that was an aspect of it. I had to learn some stuff that was difficult to learn because it's easy to learn to memorize your dialogue when it's based on emotions and feelings, and once you understand what those are within the scene, you can pretty much figure out what you have to say. But when you have all that technical stuff that you've got to spit out, that's just a little extra work. You know, you've got to work at memorizing those technical things. But that was it. The rest of it, you know, I just loved it. I loved playing the character. I got a lot of fan mail. People loved that character of Archangel. And I get fan mail today from people who are seeing it all over the world.
Yeah, well, you know, it's on reruns and everything, so it's so cool to watch it, you know, and how different TV was back then it is now, you know, Airwolf, and plus it's also on Netflix, so it's so nice, it's so cool to go back and watch the shows I watched when I was a kid. You know, Airwolf was one of them. I watched when I was younger, and so it is really, really neat. Have you ever gone and rewatched episodes?
No, not really. I haven't. No.
No. Are you not comfortable with watching yourself on television? You just never thought about it?
No, it's not that so much as I'm so busy doing other stuff. I mean, I'm writing books. We've got this little horse ranch, and that's a full-time job. I mean, I'm driving a tractor, use a chainsaw, and I ride a bunch of horses. And I'm a professional horse trainer, as is my wife. So keeping this place going is a lot of hard work, and trying to spend the time sitting in front of the computer and writing a book. I don't have time to sit down and watch after reruns of Airwolf.
I can understand that. You're a very, very busy man. Very, very busy.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk about your movie career. You mentioned some before. What was the very first movie you did?
Oh, it's a wonderful movie called Synanon, and it's an unusual word. It was the name of a drug rehabilitation center in Santa Monica, California. And it was the most successful drug rehab place in the country at that time because it was run by ex-drug addicts. So there were nobody in that place. There was no one there who was not an ex-drug addict. And the reason that most addicts fail in their recovery is because they're dealing with, people in white coats who are professional doctors and therapists of one sort of another. And there's nobody craftier at lying than a drug addict.
Oh, absolutely.
So they get to the point where they don't want to, they figure they can't make it. They can bullshit some guy in a white coat, and that's their way out. Hey, well, you don't know what it's like. Yeah. Well, at Synanon, You couldn't say to somebody, you don't know what it's like, because they all knew what it was like.
Right.
So you couldn't cop out like that. And the first thing they did was cut all your hair off when you go in there. And if you did anything dumb, you had to walk around with a sandwich board sign hanging on you from the front and the back saying, I am stupid.
Oh, wow.
And you're now relegated to cleaning the toilets. You know, it was a tough place and a damn good movie, a little black and white movie. And it had Edmund O'Brien, who was a wonderful actor who had won an Academy Award. Eartha Kitt, who was a famous black singer and a wonderfully talented woman. Boy, you look up Eartha Kitt. She was a huge star in the recording industry. And Chuck Connors, who played the rifleman in a Western on TV, he was in it. And there were a bunch of really fine actors in that movie. That was my first one, Synanon. And I got that because I had done a TV show in New York with George Scott. And the director of Synanon saw that TV show. And they flew me out to California to do a screen test for this role of the lead. It was a lead role in the movie of a drug addict. And really good movie, yeah, and my first one, really good movie, yeah, and that opened all the doors. I got really good reviews and stuff, and then I got to play Kirk Douglas's brother, and that was a huge thing because my part was just as important as his part. And we filmed it in Sicily and Italy and in New York. And it was all about the mafia. It was a very powerful movie. And then, of course, I did the remake of Stagecoach. And I played the part that made John Wayne a star, the Ringo Kid. And I had Anne Margaret was my leading lady. Bing Crosby was in it. Stephanie Powers.
What a cast.
Oh, God, a huge star-filled cast, yeah. And I had the lead in that. So I was, I had a storied career.
That is amazing. You've worked with so many people. You have played so many roles. Now, you talked a little bit about what you went through for your very first movie and what kind of place it was and kind of what they put you through. But how do you prepare to take on a role? What do you do to really prepare yourself?
Well, you have to look into the human being that you're going to portray, and it takes a good deal of study. I think that one of the most important things that an actor can have as a tool is the power of observation by studying people. I mean, I still like to go to the airport and just sit there if I'm, traveling and watch the people that go by. Something as simple as the way somebody walks. Have you ever noticed how different everybody walks? Mm-hmm. I mean, I can get up and imitate the way somebody walks. And then you'll see another guy, there's no similarity at all. It's totally different. You can identify a person from 200 yards away by their walk. So that would be something. You got to learn all that stuff. And ways of speaking, that's all important. Everybody speaks differently. Everybody has different speech patterns. So it's study, you know. It really is study in observing people, and then training yourself so that you have a trained voice that you can use, that you can do. You know, I mean, I'm talking about for an actor like me, who's a character actor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's important that I be able to change the way I speak, the way I move.
Have you ever followed some? Now, I've read other actors that took on roles that, you know, if they were portraying somebody in a movie, or, you know, they would shadow people to get their mannerisms, to get their tone of voice, their accent, how they walk and things like that. Have you ever shadowed somebody for a role?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I had to. I played a detective in a movie, and he had to go undercover as a homeless person, as a derelict, as a drunk. So I went to New York and went downtown to Cooper's Union Square, where all the derelicts hang out. And I went down there just to observe. And this one day that I went there, here comes this derelict guy, and I watched him walk, and it was such a unique walk. His feet were obviously hurting him. And he was carrying a bottle of wine in a brown paper bag, and he had it cradled in his arm in a protective manner as if it were a child.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, my God, look at this guy coming right toward me. And I said, that's my character right there. So I followed him until I could walk just like him. And it didn't take long, because I'm adept at that sort of thing.
Right.
And I used everything about that guy in the movie. I got it all in the one day down there. My brother, who lives in New York, he came with me, and I said, "There's my character right there." And sure enough, he saw the movie. My brother did, and he said, "By God, you got that guy down."
Was there ever a role? Did you ever have to shadow somebody where it was hard to pick up their mannerisms or their walk or anything? I know you're very adept to it, but did you ever find, like, did you ever have to kind of adapt a little bit of you into a role because it was a little hard to kind of completely duplicate?
No, I never had that experience. No.
Well, that's good, because you're a very good actor.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're so welcome. I very much enjoyed watching you work, and everything looks, you know, like so much fun, you know, watching you work. It looks like you're having such a great time.
Well, I usually am, yeah. Even when I'm playing a bad guy, I'm having a good time. Yeah.
What are some of the crazy things you've encountered while working on sets? Whether it be funny stories, was anybody a prankster? Any of the people you've worked with? Anything that you carry, memories that you carry through this day that just still shake your head and laugh?
God, you know, I know that there are such things, but right now I'm not able to. Just like I heard you draw a blank on the name of the guy that whose music you were playing. I've drawn a blank on some amusing thing. I'm trying to think as I'm talking here. God, I mean, there were so many things, but I just can't think of one right now.
Just can't think. I've done that, and I feel bad for Richard. I know he's a very good friend of mine, actually, but his name is a little hard to remember because it's kind of complicated. So I feel really bad, but his music is really, really good. I'm a horrible talk show host.
Don't make it.
Oh my gosh, the time has flown. We are down to
Yeah,
literally.
it has flown, right.
Oh my.
Well, the main thing is that I really do appreciate you pushing the man who would be God for me. And we'll let you know when the autobiography is available. And then maybe we can do this again.
I would. You have an
The
open.
autobiography will give us a lot to talk about.
Well, absolutely, because I want to read it. I want to read it.
Yeah.
And I want to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry?
No, I said I want to read it, and I want to read the book, The Man to Be God. I want to read that.
Okay, get it. It's easy to get. You can get it. Do you have a Kindle?
I do have a Kindle.
You get it right on your Kindle.
Excellent. And what we'll do is we'll touch base with Nick, and then we'll get you featured on our author's corner, so anybody can get it.
Super. Okay.
Yes. So you have an open door on the Wicked Edge anytime you want. You just let us know when, and you got it. It has been an absolute honor and a pleasure, Mr. Cord, and I thank you so much for your time. You've been nothing but fantastic and gracious and kind, and thank you so much for sharing all the wonderfulness about you.
Well, thank you, Tiffany. I enjoyed it. The pleasure is all mine. I'll look forward to our next visit.
I can't wait. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Everybody, this is Alex Cord. I want to thank everybody for listening tonight. And again, you guys are awesome. Spread the love. Go when we I can't speak. When we feature Mr. Cord on our website, I want you to go. I want you to buy these books, and I want you to know that we're going to update you on everything new that comes out, on the biography, on the Man to Be God. We're going to let you know what everything's going on. So don't despair. We will let you know every detail about Mr. Alex Cord. Again, I want to thank Mr. Alex Cord for being on the show. I want to thank everybody for listening. And remember, if you have animals, don't leave them in a hot car. Don't be an animal abuser. And also, spread love, not hate. Good night, everybody.